Now that the car is inside, we're going to do a walk around, show you what the way we received the car, and some of the things that are going to need more attention than others. First of all, the obvious body damage, pitted wheels, and very old tires. More body damage. The car's been sitting for a very long time. The side skirts, I don't care for them, but the owner does like them. I'm trying to convince him to get rid of them and possibly do something a little bit nicer on there, but we'll discuss that with him when the time comes. I do want to keep it original, put it back to original. I'm not sure he's going to want to do that now, so we'll see. Take a look inside. What a mess. We have a lot of mold issues. This car went through Hurricane Irma and got a little bit flooded. I know there's some rot on the floor. That's the jack point. So I'm certain we're going to have a little trouble getting this up on the lift, especially with these side skirts. Sound system put in many years ago. I think we can do better than that for them once we replace the door panels. The dash has a lot of cracks. This has an airbag dashboard, but it's supposed to have the regular dashboard without the airbag for the passenger side. So we might try to find him a regular dashboard and bring that back to original, or have this one recovered and make it nice again. Some missing components. I know the glove box is in the back. The hinges are broken. We can buy a kit for that. Take a look at that battery box inside there. You can see through the glove box, or at least try to. We'll get to that later. The rest of the car inside, the carpets are completely gone. A lot of mold in the back seat area. Just a real mess inside, just mainly from sitting, no fault of his, but the car just sat for too long. We have some rust issues in the door. I don't know where that came from, but we're going to find out why that rust is there. There's some, also this plastic isn't too bad, but we don't know where the rust is coming from underneath. We'll find out. All new window trim seals we're going to do. Everything else looks pretty good. More just pitted wheels. The turbo rear valence looks in pretty good shape. It did have has the aftermarket turbo insert that was put in many years ago. That's going to go. We want to get this back to original so it looks nice again. The rubber's all dried out. We're going to see what we can do with that. Possibly paint it, possibly replace it. We'll see what we can do to bring that back to original. And one of the biggest problems we have here, we have a wiper blade issue. So we're going to put that on the list. Make sure we get a new wiper blade on there. Don't forget that. Wow, more speakers. Not sure if the system works, but it doesn't really matter. We hope to rebuild the entire audio system and maybe hide some of this stuff and make it a real custom install for him. Speakers on the sides here. That's the glove box. I don't think it belongs back here. So we'll get that up there. Wiper cover. That's supposed to be up here. We'll make that nice again. Latches. The pins are rotted. Latches were really stuck. It was difficult to get this open, but there it is. We won't close it too tight this time. Obviously, struts, interior pieces coming down. The whole interior is going to be rebuilt, as well as the whole car. Let's take a look here. This car, missing door panel. We'll get that taken care of. Everything just sort of hanging there. Looks like a lot of water was on the floor here, so I don't know what kind of rust we're going to have on this side. Also a lot of mold. Optional Saratoga top. This was an option you could buy, not through Porsche, but it was an aftermarket supplier. I do want to get him the original sunroof for this, and he can keep this as a side thing, but I want the original sunroof in here, and we'll fix the mechanism so it works properly. You take a look inside, and more mold back here. This is pretty dangerous. I think we're going to have to disinfect this car quite a bit before we start on the interior parts. As you can see the stain on the carpet, it was probably quite a bit of water in there. And that's it for the interior. And most of the outside, missing door handle. I think it's inside there. The handle's broken. Very common on the 944. Mirrors are not too bad. We have some sprinkler staining. Hopefully he won't park that near a sprinkler. We'll get all the lenses polished up. And broken ones will be replaced. Ugh, what a mess. A lot of aftermarket stuff here. Again, I want to go back to original equipment in here, but I think the owner wants to keep this beautiful yellow cam housing. I'll see if I can talk him out of that. And amongst some other things, the battery box, as I said, was rotted. We'll get to that. We'll show you that later when we get the battery out. All these engine aluminum is going to be wet blasted, which brings up the finish really nice. So this car, the engine compartment will look immaculate. The engine's coming out. We're not going to try to start this because of the timing belt. That timing belt is probably 15 years old or more. If I try to start the engine, it'll probably take the teeth off the bottom of it and will damage valves. So we don't want to do that. We're going to pull the engine apart anyways to take a look inside and make sure everything is good. It was rebuilt not too long ago, but we want to make sure it's still okay, especially where it's been sitting. Engine will come out. We're going to replace fuel hoses. We see insulation on there that really doesn't need to be there, and some of the other things around the engine compartment that are just not tidy at all and needs to be brought back to original. We're going to do some plating, get all these parts components back up to what they look like when they were new. The engine compartment is going to be repainted the same as the body color, or the same as it was with the dull finish, not the gloss like the body. These are nice Coney struts that were put in and not used. The car had maybe 600 miles on it since they were put in. We'll get a new decal. Everything will look brand new under here, except for some of the aftermarket stuff he wants to keep. We'll see. Not sure I like that idea. And of course, a nice new hood badge. And that's it for the outside. We're going to get the car up in the air if we can. We're going to try to get it up in the air, and we'll show you the underside of the car here shortly. Stick around. Ready? Well, we got the car up in the air, as you can see. It was a bit of a challenge. The jack point is missing. We had to use hockey pucks and some wood blocks to get it to go up the way we wanted it. So let's take a look. Turbo symbol doesn't belong there. We'll see if we can eliminate that and fill the holes for the front license plate. The front cover is missing underneath. This panel is supposed to go all the way back here. And then a metal shield that goes underneath here. All of that's missing. We're going to try to get that right back where it needs to be. Looks like condenser, AC condenser, and radiator look pretty good. A little bit of corrosion, not too bad. We can probably clean that up and save it. Some pieces broken off for the shrouding for the radiator and the air guide into the radiator from the front. We can fix all that. Looking at a yellow oil pan. Not sure why it's yellow, but it is yellow. We're gonna get that back to original again. Like again, all the aluminum parts for suspension, all that's going to be wet blasted, so it looks nice and new again. Looking at these pulleys, this is another reason we didn't want to start this car. See, the pulleys are all rusty from sitting. Fans look good. We could probably clean those up real nice, make those like new again. The rack isn't leaking, which is good. Moving down here, we'll show you the rust here. This is where the jack point was. It looks like it got hit as well as rusted. A lot of broken plastic. You can see the rust up inside here, the hole, just a big hole where the jack point is. We'll see more from the inside when we pull the carpet out. A lot of the plastic is broken, center jack point. There's some red parts up here. Not sure why, some red parts. There's a heat shield missing, I just noticed, from the starter. And we have starter wires sitting right on the starter up here. Starter wires sitting right on the exhaust up here. We're going to fix that with the correct heat shield. A lot of exhaust work done, painted silver. Not real good. Another hole. We're not sure why this is here. Obviously water from the inside out. We'll see where that water came from. Probably the Saratoga top leaking, especially Irma. That wasn't good. More broken plastic pieces up in here and a smashed mount. Look at this one. This one's pushed up pretty far. All in all, it can be fixed. Not too bad. I'll come back here. Let's see, standard stuff here. More parts painted red. Don't know why. I guess thought it looked cool. Silver exhaust pipes. Interesting. Maybe we'll go stainless and we'll come up with a nice new exhaust system for him. This is a gear oil cooler that was standard equipment in 1986. This has a pump inside that pumps the gear oil through for cooling. Good for the racetrack. Not necessary on the street from 97 on, I'm sorry, 1987 on, this was an option, but 86, it was a standard feature. Brembo brakes all around, real nice 4-piston calipers. The fronts were painted red. We're going to go all back to black, powder coat probably, and we'll rescale the surface so they look nice and smooth on the front again with the shiny aluminum Porsche symbol. So those will look nice. Everything else looks pretty good. I'm going to take a look at these wheels. The rears don't look too bad. Tires are very old. Tires will have to be replaced. The front is square mostly, so that's not going to work. We're going to have to do something with wheels. Yeah, both front wheels are damaged. Coney shocks don't look too bad. We're going to probably send those to Coney and have them checked and make sure that they're ready to be put back in again when the car is finished. Brake hoses, brake caliper rebuilds, all of that will be done, as well as anything else that needs to be cleaned up and painted and restored. All the suspension, every part of this car is going to be gutted underneath. It's going to go to the body shop on a dolly with wheels. And while that's there, we'll be restoring and rebuilding all the suspension with new bushings and components, and you'll get to see all of it. The rear suspension, torsion bar for rear suspension, all that will be taken apart. You get to see all that. And that's about it. So in the next video, we'll be starting the disassembly process, starting with the interior. After that, we'll move on to transmission, torque tube, and then the engine will come out. All the brake lines, hoses, everything will come off, and we'll start the process. That's it for now. We'll see you next video.